Hi, everybody. Today we're going to be continuing to work on our personal narrative. Yesterday, you had the opportunity to brainstorm some ideas for your very first personal narrative this year. Our theme for personal narratives is My First. You should have picked an event in your life where it was your first time experiencing something and it had a really big effect on you. So, I'm going to show you how to use our personal narrative outline. You have 2 days to complete your outline. You can do it all today. You can do part today, part tomorrow. That's kind of up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of how it should look by recording and showing you my own personal narrative. So the seed idea I selected was my first time at Lagoon with my dad. And if you can see, I went and I highlighted the type here and I erased it and then typed my own message. You can see that all of the stuff I'm adding to my document should be in that nice bright blue color so it's easy to see. All right, so the beginning of our story includes telling the reader our setting, what characters that are important, and what problem occurs. So my setting for the story, the setting for the story is Lagoon when I was 8 years old. Now remember, a setting can be a place, but it can also be a time. So it's good to make sure that you tell your reader how old you were or maybe the year when this took place. Characters. The main characters in this story are my dad and I. And the problem. I got a bloody nose on my very first time on the rocket at Lagoon. Now, I capitalized the rocket because it's a ride and it's a proper noun. Okay, so I've described the setting, the characters, and the problem. So now I'm going to talk about what happened after the problem occurred. So the steps we took to resolve the issue. So after my nose started bleeding, my dad tried really hard to keep the blood from going everywhere on the ride, which was really hard to do because we were still bouncing up and down in the air. Action 2. When the ride ended, the ride operator, which is the person who runs the ride, called the Lagoon paramedics because wanted to come help. The paramedics wanted to take me away on a stretcher. Super embarrassing. Oh my gosh, how come I can't spell stretcher? Stretcher, there we go. On a stretcher for a little bloody nose. I get bloody noses all the time, so it's really not a big deal. Everyone else was freaking out. Okay, so what happened? They were trying to take me away on a stretcher. How did we resolve the issue? My dad and I convinced the paramedics that I did not need to go to the first aid station. They let us go finish. Go after signing some paperwork. And we enjoyed the rest of the day at Lagoon. Hey, now an important part of every personal narrative is a reflection on what you've learned. Okay, so what did I learn from this experience, or how did this experience change me as a person? So I learned from this experience to be careful when riding new rides at an amusement park. Okay, and that is my outline. As you can see, I have written it in complete sentences. Now, this is not my entire story. I need to add details and descriptions and feelings, and all of that's going to happen when I start writing my first rough draft. This outline just helps me make sure I get all the ideas down on a piece of paper and that I'm including all the sequence or important parts in my story. So this is what we need to get finished on our story for this week. And then next week, we will start turning it into a personal narrative, which is going to be which is going to be 3 paragraphs. You're going to have a beginning paragraph, a middle paragraph, and an end paragraph. As you can see, our lovely outline helps us with that because it's got a beginning, middle, and end section. All right, now it's your turn to go ahead and complete your own personal narrative outline. If you need any help, make sure that you message in the assignment.